guys, and welcome to a new book review video. So today I'm going to be reviewing Origine from Dan Brown. That's book number 5 in the Robert Langdon series. I have a little bit of mixed feeling about this book. I mean, the book is really good, but it doesn't feel so much like a Robert Langdon book than the others, and so I'm going to be explaining why. So the book came out not too long ago and I had to get it because I've been reading all of Dan Brown. Not too long ago, I think last year, I finished to read all of it. And so, of course, I needed to have the last book, especially that it's a Robert Langdon book. And like the other books from Dan Brown aren't really as good as Robert Langdon stories. I think they aren't as good because they're not as realistic. And so that sort of bugs me, like the science in those books sort of bugged me. And then you have Origine coming up, and basically what I was expecting was like Langdon to go around and got the clues as usual and move around the city by himself or with a girl as usual and check everything out, you know, like give you the big mysteries of every single little clues and be very professor about it, that kind of feeling. And the thing is, in this book you don't have that. So in the clue searching side of the story, I think I was a bit disappointed with this book because Robert Langdon is there, but if he wasn't, that would be exactly the same. We don't have this pressure to be sure that what he's doing, we can't do it by ourselves. And yeah, I think the mystery around the whole thing was like a little bit too much and not enough. Like too much in the sense that everything is delayed. So you are like looking for the big answer to the origin of life, and you think you're gonna get it, but no. You think you're gonna get it, but no. You think you're gonna get it, but no. And every time it's pushed farther and further, and the delay doesn't really, like, it's kind of like the suspense is because it's delayed. But it's not delayed because something actually happened in the book. It's more delayed because of the author cutting up the scene and going to talk to you about something else. So I don't think it's as effective as when Robert Langdon is looking for a clue and seeing the clue and he cannot figure it out yet. So you try to do something else. And in that case, I'm kind of like, I feel the thrill a lot more than I do in the Origin book. The good point about this Origin book is that it's believable while at the same time going back to the scientific style that Dan Brown had when you, like Digital Fortress for example, you go back to that computery stuff, and it's not 100% accurate. Like there is like, so first, like the thing is, in the museum I asked the expert basically. So when you're in the museum and he has this thing on his ears, and he says that the GPS actually give him the position exactly in the museum. And that I say that to my husband, like, oh yeah, he's got this device, like you put the thing on your bones so that you hear the voice in it. And my husband say, yes, that's exactly what I'm using when I'm on my bicycle, so that I can hear the outside world while listening to something. And I'm like, yeah, but this device actually has a GPS, so that they can locate people inside of the museum. And my husband said, no, it cannot be a GPS because, see, even in our room, we cannot access GPS location. Because you have like too much thing on top of you. Like if you're inside, the GPS is not gonna work. Like it's true, if I take the subway in the train station, my GPS doesn't work. And if I'm in this room, the GPS doesn't work. And my husband said it's gotta be Wi-Fi connected and Bluetooth. Like so the Wi-Fi that like kind of calculates the distance between the Wi-Fi emitter and the receptor on that thing. So that was like, I was like, so it's not, it could be GPS. It would make sense if it's GPS, but only if outdoor, because GPS doesn't necessarily reach every corner of that museum. Especially that you have several floors. If it's just ground floor or second floor, you're okay, but if there is multiple floor, you cannot get GPS. And I was like, yeah. So that was the first little part, like, okay, so it's not as accurate as I would like it to be. And so it goes back to all this. So you have the old computery style of things that is difficult to accept because it's more advanced than what it should be, like at this point in time. But that's because the guy who makes that computer is a genius. So you can sort of accept that he actually managed to create a quantum computer because some people are looking at it, but it's still kind of difficult. But it's also true that if you don't have this super computer that is better than any supercomputer we have now, you can actually not make the simulation he's doing to reach the origin of life. So in a way, it's like, okay, you need to sort of accept the science fiction part of it. So I was like, okay. And so that's the one part that a little bit puzzled me. And the other part was like, Robert Langdon was still smart, but he was like talking to this computer all the time, and basically he let the computer lead him, but he didn't really sorry guys, he didn't really find clues that easily, like, because he kept on saying that it's modern and that he doesn't like modern art and that he doesn't sort of know the modern symbolism. But at the same time, you don't even have modern clues that much. And that's basically what put me off a little bit, because I really liked, like, when Langdon actually checked the symbol and show to you, like, understand them and that kind of things. And you have one symbol in there, and I don't think it's even Langdon who actually figured that. Like, you're told later, but I don't know. And it's not even relevant that much about the story. So, because like normally they are trying to save people and they have this ultimatum, but this time you don't have that. Like, the guy is already dead. Sorry, spoiler. So the guy is already dead, and what they want is to release his thing. Like the origin of life. He wanted to tell the origin of life to everybody. He was killed in the middle of it. Again, see the delay. He got killed before he told everyone. So you have to wait until the end of the book to actually get to that part. And then there is like, you see the relationship, you see other people die for different reasons, but there isn't any thing that's actually going to bring you together in the same way, like you have Silas and you have like other characters going on in the previous books. So I got a little bit like it, you can't guess what's going on beforehand, before the big final. Like there is a lot of misleading information in the book to make you believe that this guy or that guy did it. And it's kind of possible, but at the same time, the clue London are seeing is just to release the thing, so he's not going after anyone. and I'm always like wondering, okay, your friend got killed, and you kind of want to show the world what he's doing, and you kind of have some guy after you trying to kill you for it. But at the same time, why not like check the guy first? Like, why not find clues about who killed your friend instead of trying to release what is wanted? And like that's kind of puzzled me a little bit. Like, I mean, of course it was important to release the knowledge, but at the same time, like, even when they got at the end, so they got at the end, they knew like the killer is dead, and there is all this conspiracy about it, and then it's kind of like over for everyone. Just Langdon starts thinking about something, and actually finalize the who got killed and like the whole Hercule Poirot level mystery, but that's it. Basically, you don't have anything showing you like the run after the killer. It's just a deduction that Langdon made that isn't denied. So at some point I'm just wondering, like, it's kind of Origine because of the origin of life that they are gonna tell you what it is. And it's also kind of Origine because Dan Brown goes back to like digital fortress style of thing about computer. And I'm like, I'm kind of wondering if it's possible, even because it kind of shows that like science and is a big thing going after religion. Atheism and the grudge of one man is a thing going against religion. But at the same time, you don't have any, like, religion isn't even trying to defend themselves. It's just so weird. It's just like the entire world got controlled by that computer. And there is absolutely no reaction from anyone else who was aware of the problems that was going to be given by this origin of life new theory. And I'm kind of a bit puzzled. I'm like, yeah, of course it's like the entire human side of the story is gone. It's like religion is defenseless and nobody's trying to do any protection of it, because the protection of it that is going on is actually faked by the machine. And I'm like, yeah. So I mean, the book is really good in a way because you have like finally the origin when it's disclosed, it's all possible. Like, yeah, it totally could be if there was a computer who can actually do the thing that it does in the book, maybe we could actually discover the origin of life, like reach t=0. And maybe it would even be possible for the Big Bang to some extent. So it's a pretty nice like thought. But at the same time, on the other hand, as a Langdon mystery, it fell a bit short. Yeah. So I read it really, really fast because I really wanted to know. The thing is, it's kind of accelerating in a way because you're supposed to see what's the mystery and then you don't. And then you're supposed to see it again and then you don't. And it's just so unnerving because you want to know. And I'm like, is it actually like moving us around and we're never gonna know because like nobody knows it, so you cannot even put it in the book because it doesn't exist? Is it that like at some point, because it's just so delayed, you're just like, okay, we're gonna know, poof, it stopped, and you're like, duh, like I mean, I really thought, okay, we're never going to know at all whatsoever. Like, Langdon is going to decide that maybe it's too extravagant and just stop the knowledge to be propagated at some point. Like, he almost did that. So I'm like, according to his personality, he would have wanted to know first and then decide by himself if it should be propagated or not. Except that wasn't an option, so he just propagated it. But my point is like, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like the other Langdon books at all. It's just kind of short. It felt a bit short in the knowledge point of view. And of course you have like mention of books, you have mention of places because it's in Spain, so it goes in different Spain cities, but you don't have this urgency to move around that much. I mean, it's a good book, but it's not as good as the Da Vinci Code. But that's my conclusion. So I mean, it's worth reading it, especially for the origin of life explanation. That's probably the best part of the whole thing. It makes you really think about science and religion and all that kind of thing. So that's good. But it's not the best book in the Langdon series, definitely not for me. And I would have loved to have more of like the clues, the you know, like the symbols to learn about and that kind of thing. So anyway guys, that's it for my review of Origine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumb up and to subscribe. See you next time for something else. And have fun whatever you read. Bye!